You've probably seen the viral travel videos claiming that a single, crisp $100 bill makes you an instant millionaire in Iran. Mathematically, the calculation holds up. On the open market, $1 currently exchanges for about 1.8 million Iranian Rials. That $100 bill translates to 180 million units of local currency. However, this table of retail prices in Tehran shows how quickly that money vanishes. A single specialty coffee costs 1.5 million Rials. That massive stack of banknotes covers one beverage and a small tip. The scale of standard living costs is even more extreme. A family of 4 in Tehran requires nearly 1 billion Rials every month just to cover basic housing, food, and utilities. The Toman serves as a pragmatic accounting unit to keep these numbers manageable. By dropping the final zero from the legal rial, citizens can discuss prices and negotiate salaries without counting into the hundreds of millions for every transaction. In an economy where survival requires millions of units, a high nominal bank balance reflects the rising cost of living rather than accumulated wealth. This astronomical exchange rate is the result of a continuous 50-year structural decline. This chart tracks the collapse. In 1978, the currency was stable at 70 Rials per dollar. By 2012, sanctions dropped the rate to 25,000. The bottom panel shows the acceleration to 1.8 million by 2026, driven by maximum pressure policies and domestic capital flight. Internally, the government covered its budget deficits by printing money. This process expanded the country's M2 money supply, flooding the market with local currency that possessed less and less value. At the same time, external factors choked off the supply of incoming dollars. This table outlines the mechanisms, from the disconnection of the SWIFT banking system to the freezing of central bank assets overseas. These combined forces created a mathematical inevitability, a massive expansion of domestic money chasing a shrinking supply of foreign reserves. To manage the resulting dollar shortage, the government fractured the economy with a multi-tiered exchange system. This chart of exchange tiers shows the scale of the distortion. The official rate of 42,000 Rials exists to subsidize essential imports like medicine, yet it sits miles away from the 1.8 million free market rate used by the public. This massive gap encourages arbitrage. Insiders with access to the cheap official rate can flip those dollars on the unregulated market for an immediate profit, often at the expense of the food and medical supplies those dollars were meant to buy. Ordinary citizens protect their life savings by abandoning the rial for hard assets. They convert local cash into physical gold coins, which adjust dynamically to the market exchange rate. Businesses follow a similar path. Cut off from global banking, they bypass official currency tiers using informal settlement networks and digital assets to continue trading. When a state attempts to artificially dictate currency value, society builds its own shadow economy to survive the resulting inefficiencies. The raw number of units per dollar does not dictate a nation's absolute poverty or wealth. The Kuwaiti dinar is valued at over $3, but that high unit price is a result of its initial currency design. It does not indicate that Kuwait is 10 times more productive than the United States. Conversely, Japan operates an advanced industrial economy with a triple-digit exchange rate. The yen functions perfectly because domestic inflation is controlled. Rapidly growing economies like Vietnam also feature currencies with tens of thousands of units per dollar. Those numbers are artifacts of historical inflation that no longer hinder their economic development. The quantity theory of money explains the math. If a nation's money supply grows while its real output of goods stays the same, prices must rise to keep the equation balanced. Adding zeros to paper money does not create more food, generate more energy, or increase the amount of human labor available to a nation. A rate of 1.8 million Rials per dollar serves as a numerical record. It tracks exactly how far money supply expansion has outpaced the creation of real-world wealth.